Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another Vendal's Weekly Arcade Quest Tutorials. Alright, so, I want to apologize again. I'm sorry, I've been really busy lately with some exams and other things like that, and this may kind of continue up until mid-April when I finish with my finals. But yeah, these videos are probably going to be getting out a little later than they used to just because I'm often busy on Fridays. But in good news, I got everything done this week and things turned out well, so let's go ahead and talk about this week's weekly quest, which is called Down the Rabbit Hole. This one is very easy. It's another one that I think is spammable if you want to try to earn some rewards for yourself and your different characters or try to get the emotes. Do keep in mind, of course, the drop chances are low, so don't get upset because it is entirely random when you're not getting the effects you want for the character that you want. It's unfortunate that it's designed this way. It should prioritize, of course, the character you're playing, but it only does that on your first playthrough. But anyway, so this quest is called Down the Rabbit Hole. Strange rumors have spread about Master Barrancus the Prior and his mad warriors in Ashfield who shook and strike terror. You know, I feel like they were trying to rhyme terror with prior. It almost works, not really. Plodding Wins. The Prior's goons have wrecked a city just for their own amusement. They say, "You are too late, sweetie. Yet you deliver punishment." Punishment and amusement, sweetie and city. It just doesn't work. Fun, it's clever. They tried to rhyme, but it doesn't work. So this first quest up is a survival with some new modifiers. The enemies have no modifiers, but there's a secret gimmick. The Peacekeeper can vanish. Anyway, so that was a glitch that happened. I had an invisible Peacekeeper. Weird thing that happened. Very pleasant, though. This is how you win this first fight. It's really easy. It's a survival fight. Now, we've already established that these types of fights can be pretty easy because you can just tank things and get revenge. Again, they give you health on kill, so you can kill all the minions that they've got set up for you too if you need to stay alive. And generally speaking, you just won't have a hard time with this fight, especially if you're playing a tanky character that can turtle well. You're going to be just fine turning things against them. However, if you don't actually feel like fighting and you feel like just doing something different, there is an alternative way to defeat this particular quest than actually engaging in combat with the enemies. Standing in the position that I'm standing in here will make the enemies run at you through the horde of minions here, which will actually slow them down a little bit and allow you to get around them and then start a good little racing track circuit. So for about a minute here, this was my favorite way to win this quest just because it's goofy. You can literally just, if you're playing any character with a decent run speed, outrun them entirely because they'll try to swing at you when you jump off the edge and miss, or they'll try to jump off the edge in time with you if you're far enough ahead. You'll always keep pace ahead of them. It's very easy to do, very easy to dodge roll on reaction, and if you do happen to get clipped by one of them on the way, just once you gain a little bit of distance after some of them hesitated before jumping, take out one of the minions and you'll be just fine. I pulled this off the very first time. Actually, no, that's not true. I pulled it off the second time I attempted it. The first time I attempted it, I stood back before the crowd, here, right where my guy's at now, and it caused an issue because they would come and collide with me and I wasn't able to get away for the initial burst of speed and run that you need at the beginning from all three of them. So, which is why you stand off to the side to the left, so they have to go through the minions, and then right when they clash with the minions, you circle to the right and begin doing your laps. This is a very easy and very fun way to clear this first phase of the quest. Alright, do also note though that you have a little spike wall here at your disposal if you decide you just need to impale a few people. It's okay, celebrate however you want. Moving on to Phase 2, where the modifiers are kind of pointless because they could have done it in a different way and made the gameplay the same. It is called Curiouser and Curiouser. You face raving Romans whose fatal blows make their victims fall, but you stand tall, tough, and able against Barrancus to kill all, something like that. First one that actually rhymed. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. They actually pulled off a rhyme that worked right. So, no, we have low max hit points, but we gain hit points on kill. They both knock back on heavies. One of them does less damage on light attacks. One of them does less damage on heavy attacks. The way this ends up working out, though, is essentially just think of it as a regular fight where the Gladiator has a modifier where he does more damage on heavies, and the Centurion has a modifier where he does more damage on lights, and that's actually about how it balances out to be with the total cumulus of the modifiers. You can fight them regularly. These two are both level 2 AIs and therefore not extremely hard to deal with as long as you utilize revenge well. Given the Gladiator's pins can be really frustrating and can gank you pretty well, but if you're careful you can take them both out. You won't get parried a lot while you're fighting them either, so that's not something you can stress about. Additionally though, there is a hole on either side, but it is guarded by a bunch of the minions, making it dangerous to clear a path to if you want to try to ledge them. But it is certainly possible. On to Phase 3, a silly place. Searching for Barrancus, you go in shrubbery. A valley where a cold bringer commands you not to linger, or he'll axe you, you unleash your fury. Did they really try to rhyme fury with shrubbery? That just didn't, nope, that one didn't work. Curiouser and Curiouser was better. This one, I've lost faith in the rhyming skill once again. Alright, so this one we're up against a Lawbringer. And you could die in some pretty funny ways. And I just wanted to show off a few of my death poses before we really got into the fight. I had fun with this quest. It's not super hard, but it is a level 3 Lawbringer. And it's definitely not difficult to clear, because if you really want to... Yeah, sorry, I failed that parry there. I should have been ready for that. You can just be like... Meh. Meh. And then you're done. You know, the Lawbringer, although he's a level 3 AI, is kind of stupid. But beware, your Berserker on death can break the third wall and stare at you from the ghastly beyond. Watch this creepy head movement here. It just weirded me out a little bit. Anyways, okay, so back to actually how we go about this quest. So, like said, you can just go ledge him up here in this pit off to the right, but if you want to clear it legitimately without using ledging tactics at all, there's a heal portal up here that you can utilize, there is a bear trap here, and then there's some archers here. Interestingly enough, the archers that you see ahead of you now, those two, don't actually seem to mess with you too much. I never had any issues with them. Post yourself behind that bear trap and you can get an initial first hit. He does have a regenerating shield, so you need to be aware of that. And then the most dangerous part of this quest is your stamina management. Because of, you know, the Berserker wasn't really a good choice for this because you have to burn heavy stamina to pull off some of his more effective combos and utilize his hyper armor. And the Lawbringer is good at draining stamina too anytime he gets a parry, which he's going to get because he's a level 3 AI. But if you go out of stamina, that's basically half your health gone, not even from him hitting you. Because running out of stamina triggers the Frostbite debuff in this quest, and it destroys your health. So the main thing to remember here if you're fighting legitimately is do not go out of stamina, no matter what you're doing. Absolutely never go below half before attacking. Never use your zones, because if he parries you out of his zone or anything like that and you go out of stamina, you've pretty much already lost the match. That's going to be it. But you know, carry your way through and you'll clear it. It's really not that bad, but given it is a level 3 Lawbringer, if you're skilled against fighting Lawbringers, you'll do just fine. So Phase 4. As a March Hare, there comes Master Barrancus, who finally joins the fray to boast, I'm invincible. Well, that's bogus. You have had so much worse. Worse than... I don't even know what they were okay. I'm happy that they tried to do something slightly humorous, but it just didn't work out in English. It just really didn't. Okay, so what have we got going on here? There's a lot to break down. The Peacekeeper and the Warden both cheat death, so they can't be killed, but their max hit points are down, so they're easy to knock out of the fight for a little bit. You gain hit points on kills, therefore it's beneficial to take them out. Additionally, the main guy that you're fighting, the Vortiger, who does not, by the way, end the quest if you kill him, but anyways, fighting the main Vortiger, he has bleeding damage but lower damage overall, and that allows him to feed into your stamina, and he also has an extended amount of hit points. Feed into your revenge, excuse me. So the strategy in this fight is generally try to just handle the Vortiger defensively as best as you can. You have at your advantage, besides the heal on kills, that you're also uninterruptible. This means that the easiest thing for you to do to take out any of these people is just guard break them through one of their attacks, throw them into the wall, and then do your best punish that you can do against them. It works out really well. It's really easy to do. With my Aramusha, I beat this my second attempt just by utilizing essentially the method of spam your guard break and throw them into walls. Up in this area there's that little shield bonus, and if you notice down below there's a bear trap on the way up to here that will sometimes clip one of them, delaying their approach for a little bit longer, allowing you to take them out. And do note that although killing the Vortiger doesn't end the quest, meaning you have to have all three dead at the same time, if you kill the Vortiger fast enough after you've killed the other two, of course it will end the quest. You do not have to execute the other two to complete it. So So now we'll show off my clear with the Berserker and talk a little bit more about it, but sped up. So you saw that little bear trip that's down there. It can sometimes hold up and delay one of them for a little bit. It doesn't seem to always work. It depends on your position in this upper area. But like I said, the easiest way to clear this quest is just push through it with guard breaks, trying to guard break through attacks. If you want to, you can just try to build it up and be hyper defensive to try to get your revenge and play it as usual. But you do have uninterruptible, which means you can utilize the classic revenge tactic of tanking a hit and then guard breaking someone through it. And that definitely is an effective style of play in this fight, because they will throw out their attacks and try to be offensive, very much so, especially the Vortiger. The most frustrating thing about the fight, though, is absolutely the bashes from the Vortiger. Everyone already knew that would happen, but lo and behold, an AI level 3 Vortiger does still like to do his bash spam. So if you get hit by a light, be prepared to expect it. I actually seldom got guard broken out of a dodge after his light. It seems he pretty much always will throw that bash. So just be aware of that. I might be wrong on that. My experience might have been a little close-knit, but that just seemed to be the case for me. So that about sums it up for this weekly quest. This one's pretty simple. For character choice, since I didn't mention it earlier, pick a character that's decently fast but also probably has a static guard, and that'll serve you the best because of Phase 4. Don't pick a character with low stamina, because stamina consumption will wreck you during your Frostbite fight with the Lawbringer. That's pretty much all there is to it. Enjoy yourself, make your way through this quest. It's really not that bad if you employ just a little bit of strategy, especially compared to some of the previous ones we've had, and you'll have a good time. I enjoyed this quest, though I did not enjoy the terrible rhyming. With that, remember, modifiers modify your playstyle, and enjoy this little closing clip here of a nice little carnival ride. Vendel, out.